Hey guys, it's Dr. Sarah. Now, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the NUFACE TRINITY Pro, and this is a device that so many celebrities swear by. A-listers apparently love it. They use it as part of their routines. And I read this article in Vogue, essentially reviewing the NUFACE TRINITY. So what can it do? How can it deliver the results for facial lifting and toning in minutes? And is it worth it? Should you be spending your money on this device? What is the evidence behind it? So this is the NUFACE TRINITY device. You can see it has these two electrodes on the end. This is where the electricity comes out when you place it on the skin using a conducting gel. What happens is a microcurrent, so a current that you won't actually feel like an electrical impulse on the skin. It's a much lower current than that. Comes out of the end of the device and is delivered into the skin, and also supposedly the underlying muscles and structures in the skin to cause a lifting, tightening and toning effect. Now, how exactly is it supposed to work? So this low-level electrical current tones, tightens and lifts the muscles. It works like an external battery that jumpstarts our cellular energy. So what does this actually mean? This quote is referencing the evidence that shows microcurrent is able to stimulate something called ATP, or the energy molecule that makes our cells work. And also there is some evidence to show that microcurrent is potentially able to stimulate protein synthesis within your cells. So it stimulates things like collagen and elastin. But what is the evidence for this? Is a device like this actually going to do that? Is a device like this actually going to have those effects in your skin? Let's take a look at the evidence. So here we can see on PubMed that this is kind of an excerpt of the study that is frequently quoted as the one that shows how microcurrent can stimulate ATP production and also protein synthesis, and also the membrane transport of something called amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. Now, this study was done in 1982, so it's not a new study, it's a really old study, and it's actually looking at the effects of electric currents on these outcomes in rat skin. So the study itself took samples of rat skin, applied electrical currents to them at varying intensities, varying current strengths, and was able to demonstrate that yes, it did increase ATP generation, it was able to indirectly stimulate protein synthesis and the transport of amino acids across the cell membrane, so indirectly improving collagen and the potential for collagen and elastin to be generated within the skin. Now, obviously, this is not completely translatable to human skin, and something that's done in the lab on an animal model like this is not something that you can really say is going to have the same effect when you apply it to humans. Now, anecdotally, as we've seen, if we go back to this Vogue article, there are so many celebrities and so many A-listers that swear by this technology, and they see some immediate results after sort of applying microcurrent to their skin. So it's going to stimulate muscle contraction and cause a very temporary tightening and lifting effect. But when it comes to the actual scientific evidence behind any real benefits within the skin on a kind of cellular level and what it's actually doing with regards to collagen and elastin, there's very little evidence for this. Now, this is one study that is frequently quoted, the rat study, and I think this study is portrayed in a way that, you know, it's used to really sell and market these products as, you know, this is what is happening within human skin. But I think, and I don't know about you guys, whether or not it's completely translatable. I think that's definitely something that's up for debate. Now, when looking at studies that show the effect of microcurrent in an aesthetic or for cosmetic use, for example, on the effect of facial wrinkles, there's again very little studies when it comes to showing the benefits of microcurrent in these situations. Now, I did manage to find a couple of studies here. This one from 2012 that looks at microcurrent's effect on facial wrinkles, and they say it's a randomized clinical trial study. But actually, this clinical study didn't have a control group. It looked at a very small group of women, and it was more an objective study, a subjective study, where photographs were taken pre and post treatment, and two dermatologists were asked to assign or sort of score how well they thought there was an improvement in facial wrinkles. They said that the improvement was more noticeable on the forehead as compared to the lower face or around the mouth. And, you know, again, this study was sort of relatively limited because it didn't have a control group or people to compare, who hadn't had microcurrent therapy. So can we say that those results are really truly down to the microcurrent by looking at this study? I don't think we really can. I think this study was lacking or sort of limited in various areas. So this probably is not the best study to really show how well microcurrent is going to have effects in the skin and when it comes to wrinkles. The other study was this one from Korea, and this one is from 2016. So clinical test for evaluation of effectiveness of the microcurrent stimulation in facial skincare. This study examines the effectiveness of microcurrent stimulation to improve facial skin qualities by performing clinical test. So they're basically saying microcurrent is known to provide a healing response, and there is actually evidence to show certain types of microcurrent can help wound healing. And they think it activates ATP and protein synthesis. So again, going back to that rat study. So from the clinical tests, our results showed that a variety of evaluating categories, which is able to assess the skin qualities, significantly enhanced due to stimulation of microcurrent at 7 and 14 days. Therefore, we can estimate that microcurrent in human facial skin may be effective to improve the skin qualities. So I'm not really sure what exactly this study is showing. It's sort of more a case study. It's not actually what we call like a randomized control trial or a study of any real kind of higher quality when it comes to the hierarchy of studies. So these two studies are really the only ones I could find that appear to show any benefit from microcurrent. So should we be investing our money on something like a NUFACE device? It's $395. If we actually go back to the website here, targets the skin and muscles to instantly blur fine lines and wrinkles, give your face a tighter, lifted look and toned and contoured appearance over time. Now, if we actually go down to where these asterisks give us sort of a little bit more information, TRINITY results, okay, so immediate results, this asterisk here, and 60 days results. If we look at the disclaimer in the corner here, the results that they're actually showing on their website coming from a questionnaire 15 minutes post-treatment and a questionnaire after 60 days of use. So this is a consumer-focused post-treatment questionnaire. It's not a clinical study. It's not looking with any sort of scientific reasoning or evidence behind microcurrent when it comes to how it's actually changing the skin or having any long-term benefits. So I don't know what you guys think about that. I think for me, it's definitely something that I would be skeptical of. There's very little evidence behind it. Should you be wasting your money on it? Personally, I think it's a no. I think there are other treatments that are really so much better at stimulating collagen and tightening the skin. Again, I'm going to go back to my favorites of microneedling, radiofrequency microneedling, and other treatments that you can do in the clinic, like bioremodeling treatments that stimulate collagen and elastin and have so much more evidence behind them. So if you're a fan of NUFACE or microcurrent, let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to hearing the opposite side of the story. But that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video.